On Thursday, the United Nations General Assembly voted to suspend Russia from the United Nations Human Rights Council with 93 votes for suspension, 24 against suspension, and 58 countries states abstained.
The result of the vote is as follows. In favor, 93, against 24, abstentions 58. Draft resolution A/ES-11/L4 is adopted.
The resolution called for systematic violations and abuses of human rights and violations of international humanitarian law in Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
However, Russia's actions are beyond the pale. Russia is not only committing human rights violations, it is shaking the underpinnings of international peace and security.
However, with other 57 countries, India also abstained from voting in the resolution. India's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador T.S. Tirumurti, said the impact of the crisis has beyond the region with increasing food and energy costs, especially for many developing countries. Since the invasion of Ukraine, India has abstained on at least 8 occasions, saying if it has chosen any side, then it is the side of peace. However, India's permanent UN ambassador T.S. Tirumurti said India is deeply concerned at the worsening situation in Ukraine and called for immediate cessation of violation.
Thank you, Mr. President. India has abstained on the resolution adopted in the General Assembly today. We do so for reasons of both substance and process. Since the inception of the Ukrainian conflict, India has stood for peace, dialogue, and diplomacy. We believe that no solution can be arrived at by shedding blood and at the cost of innocent lives. If India has chosen any side, it is the side of peace, and it is for an immediate end to violence. We continue to remain deeply concerned at the worsening situation and reiterate our call for end to all hostilities. When innocent human lives are at stake, diplomacy must prevail as the only viable option. Recent reports of civilian killings in Bucha are deeply disturbing. We have unequivocally condemned these killings and support the call for an independent investigation. The impact of the crisis has also been felt beyond the region with increasing food and energy costs, especially for many developing countries. It is in our collective interest to work constructively, both inside the United Nations and outside, towards seeking an early resolution to the conflict. India has been at the forefront of protecting human rights, right from the drafting of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. We firmly believe that all decisions should be taken fully respecting due process, as all our democratic polity and structures enjoin us to do so. This applies to international organizations as well, particularly the United Nations. I thank you, Mr. President.